Hey fellas, what's up? Today we're going to talk about 3 situations that women use to control men and how you can avoid being in these situations altogether. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, fellas? Hey, I got a good one for y'all today. Hey, we're going to talk about 3 situations that women use to control you. We're going to get into it, how y'all can avoid this altogether. So let's jump right into it. But first, hit that like and subscribe button because I do want to bring you guys more content on this men's development topic, man. So let's get into it. Number 1, fellas, the first situation women use to control men is if she realizes that you're at her mercy when it comes to sex. Women use sex to control and manipulate you, whether it's dating, long-term relationships, or marriage. That's why I try to preach to you guys about being too over-sexual. Learning how to control your sexual desires as a man will keep you from being exploited or being controlled or being manipulated altogether. I mean, let's just face it, fellas. If a woman realizes that you too over-sexual and that you're attracted to her and that you're willing to do anything for sex, man, she's going to exploit you. She's going to try to control you. She's going to try to manipulate you. And this type of stuff, this how dudes get used. A lot of y'all go out here and y'all be too over-sexual when it comes to women. Y'all let these women know that all you thinking about is sex. And if she get that whiff of you, man, she gonna use you. She gonna use you for your resources. She gonna use you for your time, gifts, all kind of stuff. This is how y'all get in the friend zone. If a woman knows that you're willing to do anything for sex, she gonna use you. I done seen it. I had girls tell me this about guys. So this, like I say, this is how a lot of guys get used. Because y'all do not have the power to control the situation when it comes to sex with females. And I always tell you guys, y'all want to be the seducers. As a man, you want to be the seducer because you got the power. Anytime you getting seduced by a female, you do not have the power. And like I say, if it's a point where she don't like you, y'all in trouble, man, because she is going to use you and she's going to exploit you because you can't control your sexual desire or your sexual nature when it comes to dealing with females. It's okay to turn sex down sometimes. Y'all supposed to be busy on y'all purpose. Y'all supposed to be out here chasing goals. That's what y'all supposed to be doing. And I'm not saying, hey, you can't have sex. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying y'all can't get out here and have a good time. But what I'm telling you, if you cannot control your own sexual desires and she know that you press for sex when it come to her, she's going to exploit you, especially if she do not like you. That's just how it go. This happened to a lot of guys. This happened to so many men. This how y'all get exploited for y'all money. Y'all go broke. Girls taking y'all on wild goose chases because y'all so pressed for sex. And y'all letting her know that you cannot control your sexual desires when it comes to her. And like I say, if she realizes that you press for sex, she's going to use sex to control you. Y'all have to understand that. This is something that women do. And this is in long-term relationships. This is in marriages. This is in dating. When it comes to marriages and long-term relationships. If some females, wives, girlfriends, they don't get their way, they get upset with you, they get mad, they'll stop giving you sex. They'll lock down on the sex. Using sex to control the situation and to push a narrative to get what they want in the end. So fellas, y'all have to learn to curb your sexual desires in certain situations. And like I say, when you guys are the seducers, when the man is the seducer, he has the power. When a woman is seducing, she got the power. As a man, y'all should always be seducing. It's an art form. It's going to come natural. You don't want to be chasing behind sex. You want her to be attracted to you. You don't want to be chasing and begging. I see a lot of y'all out here chasing and begging for sex. And like I say, once she catch a whiff of that, she gonna tear a hole in your ass. That's how it is. So learn to control your sexual desires. Sometimes you got to turn sex down because, like I say, you're supposed to be out here on your grind. You're supposed to be getting your bag right. Y'all supposed to be chasing success. That's the number one thing that y'all supposed to be doing. Y'all supposed to have that above anything. So like I say, guys, learn to control yourself, because if she realizes that you press for sex when it comes to her, she's going to use it to control the situation. Situation number 2, guys, that women use to control men. If she realizes that you're dependent on her in any kind of way, and when I say dependent, man, that's financially, emotionally, for transportation or shelter. I see a lot of you guys being controlled because y'all ain't got y'all shit together. You know, y'all driving these girls' cars. Y'all ain't got no money. Y'all dependent on a female for y'all emotional support because y'all don't have emotional intelligence, shelter. If a woman finds out that you cannot stand on your own as a man, she's going to use that to her advantage. She's going to use it. She's going to exploit y'all. Because if you stand with a female because you don't got your shit together, and the first time y'all get into an argument, the first thing she's going to go to, she's going to kick you out. If you don't have no car, you get into an argument with her, she get mad at you, the first thing she's going to do is take her car. You don't got no fucking money in your pockets. The first thing she's going to do, if y'all get into an argument, she's going to call you broke. That's just how it goes, fellas. Women use these tactics to control and manipulate the situation, especially if they find out that you're not on your purpose, you're not on your square, and you can't hold your own. Now, this situation might vary because you got some guys out there, you married, you're in long-term relationships with girls, you have children with women, so you have to share space together. You have to live together. Is it the best idea to have your own place as a man? Yes, but in certain situations, hey man, you're going to have to live with your girl, your wife. But she needs to know at the drop of a dime, if shit goes south, that you're man enough, you got your shit together, that you can get out here and you can provide for yourself. And you're not dependent on her for anything. That's in a marriage, a relationship, the mother of your kids. She needs to know that, hey, if anything happens, hey, I'm man enough to get out here and do this shit on my own. I'm not dependent on you for anything. And that's why I tell you guys, you got to be on your purpose. You got to have your shit together. Because it's a lot of guys out here, you see it all the time, man. A lot of guys out here, they don't have their shit together. They living off females. Y'all out here driving female cars. Y'all don't have no money. Y'all can barely feed yourself. She's going to use that to control you because she know that you dependent on her. And this is why you see a lot of women date lower value men. You know, men that we call bums, losers. They don't have shit going on for themselves in life. Women date these type of men because they can control them. It's very hard for a woman to date a man who know where he going, or a man who has his shit together, who has his own place, who can afford to take care of himself at the drop of a dime, he has his own transportation, he's mentally capable, you know, just being a man. He has emotional intelligence. These type of men are harder to deal with a lot of women. So you're going to see women choosing men of lower value because they can control them. Because these type of men are dependent on them. They're going to use his inadequacy as a man. He don't got his shit together. He don't got no car. He's emotionally unstable. He has no purpose. She's going to come in. She's going to use that. And she's going to control it. She's going to use it against him. And like I say, you're staying in her house because you don't have your shit together, or you can't, pay any bills in that house. You're not being dominant of that house. You're not being a man of that house. And she know that you can't, and she going to exploit you. That's just how it go, fellas. Women will control and manipulate these type of situations when they realize that you cannot stand on your own 2 feet as a man. So I always tell you guys, when you on your purpose, you got money in your pocket, you got your own shit, you're not dependent on anybody because you the man, you have power, man. Money and being self-sufficient is power when it comes to being a man. Having your shit together, it solves a lot of problems. And it prevents you from being controlled and manipulated. Having your shit together, being on your purpose, knowing where you want to go, being self-sufficient as a man keeps you out of the situation of being manipulated and exploited. So remember, guys, get on your grind, get your shit together, be able to stand on your own 2 feet in any situation. Always be able to support yourself and let it be known. Always have your own, and if anything happen, at the drop of a dime, you can get out here and stand on your own 2 feet as a fucking man. That's power. Situation number 3, guys, that women use to control men. If she realizes that you have her on a pedestal or that she's the center of attention when it comes to your life, she's going to use that to control the narrative and control the situation sometimes. Not all women do this, but most will. If a female realizes that you don't have anything going on outside of her, you always want to be up under her. You always calling her. You're always willing to do what she wants you to do at the drop of a dime. It lowers your value because you don't have anything above her. And sometimes, man, she's going to use that to control or exploit you. Not all women, but a lot do. And especially if it's a female who's really not into you like that. First of all, you shouldn't do this with anybody, period. Whether it's a man, woman, or child. You should always have your purpose before anything. You should always have that on a pedestal as a man. Because if not, if a relationship comes crashing down, you're going to lose yourself because you didn't have the main thing that kept you going as a man, and that's your purpose and that's your goals. And if a woman sees this, man, she's going to use you and she's going to exploit you and she's going to control the situation because you don't have anything going on outside of her. It's just like that, fella. It's female nature. And I'm not saying all women do this, but majority of them do. And fellas, let's get this straight. That's a turn off, man. That turns a lot of women off. When they realize that you don't have a driving force in your life that keeps you pushing, that keeps you making money, that keeps you mentally stable, that keeps you happy in life, they're going to get turned off, and they're also going to use it to control some situations to get desired results that'll go in their favor. So I always tell you guys, man, you can't be out here putting females on a pedestal, and you cannot always have females. You can't, period, put them at the center of attention, when it comes to your life. And I had this conversation with my girl, and at first she didn't understand it. She didn't understand it at all. She was like, well, why wouldn't you put your girl at the center of your life, Why wouldn't you put me on a pedestal? And I had to break it down to her, fellas. It doesn't mean that I don't care. It doesn't mean that I don't want to see her happy. But if I put her on a pedestal before myself or my purpose as a man, if something happened between us and shit come crashing down, I'm going to lose myself because I didn't have my main driving force as a man at the forefront of my life. And that's how a lot of you guys crash out. You have guys killing women, killing themselves because they're putting the woman at the forefront of their life. They're putting her on a pedestal. They're putting the woman before their purpose. And when shit crash in the relationship, they crash right along with it because they don't have anything else to live for. So, guys, always keep your purpose. I always talk about purpose, man. Y'all gonna hear that in a lot of my videos, all of my videos, really. Goal chasing and being established as a man. If a woman realizes that you're putting her at the forefront on a pedestal or at the center of your life before anything else, she will use that to control situation, to control certain narratives, to get desired results that are going her favor. And like I say, sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not. But when it comes to women, it's human nature. It's just in them. And like I say, this is not to bash women or nothing like that. This is a channel for men because I want to see y'all boys develop. I want to see y'all get on your grind when it comes to dating and developing yourself. So always remember that, guys. Never put anything above your purpose, especially women or relationships. Because at the end of the day, if everything around you crashes, you still have your purpose to drive you forward as a man.